live footage here, huh?
You bet.
All right. All right.
Be good advertisement for you, Mike.
Oh. Hey, better get the makeup on. Performance.
Makeup! Makeup! Yeah, now they're gonna see me down low 48 again.
No, it's my mail for 2 weeks. Trying to get caught up on life here. There you go.
Yeah. It rained on us last night for a bit. Well, Mike, it looks like we've lost about an inch of water since yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's your king rod?
Yep.
So have
One of them.
you've ridden any of these crafts before? Available in the market is it's an 840 denier. It's like a fiberglass material that's coated on the inside and the outside with Hypalon. It's composed of 6 separate chambers on it, so if a chamber were to get damaged, it's not going to sink out from under you. And in the upper shallow parts, there's a lot of rocks. You know, we'll be bumping rocks here and there, and we'll actually use some rocks to slow us down to maneuver and whatnot. So, you know, don't feel alarmed if you feel a rock going underneath. So,
Quiet over there.
but if sometimes if you do feel one coming underneath the boat, if you can just lift your feet a little bit and get the weight off the displacement of the boat, it helps out a little bit. What we're real critical about, we're using single hooks here. If you have trebles and you need to clip them, we'd like to do it at camp at night. Or if you have to do it on the boat, boy, make sure you're way over the boat and clip it so that barb doesn't end up in the boat. Getting in and out of these boats, some of the places we'll stop will be silty and gravel, and if you can kind of shake the boots off a little bit before you get in, that keeps a lot of that grit out of the boats, and that kind of works like sandpaper sometimes in the boat. And we've got some safety lines and extra oars and a lot of straps on this, so instead of trying to step in the boat all the time, it's not a real masculine way, but it's real easy just to sit down in the front, spin your feet in, and spin out. If you hook a big fish on the run, we'll try to get to shore for you. Just try to stay calm until the boatman has the boat secured and says okay. Because if we're still moving it, you're trying to step out. Usually have someone end up in the water that way, but we've already got that ice broken, don't we?
Yeah. That feels great.
All right. So that's about the boats. The equipment we have some Type 5 life jackets. This upper end's pretty shallow. We won't require you to wear them. When we get down the rapids, we'll have everyone put them on. They're designed with flotation on both sides and a collar that'll float you upright. If the unlikely event of someone getting in the water, the key is to face, if you're near the boat and can get right back in, fine. But if you get downstream from the boat, try to get away from it, because you don't want to get between the boat and anything, and you want to face downstream with your feet downstream so you're looking at the obstacles coming. We've never put anybody in the water in my career up here, so it's an unlikely event. And try to work yourself to shore. We have some throw lines on board. We can get a line to you if you can't get to shore. Some of the other equipment, the tents at night, we've got custom built tents with double floors, full shot corded rain flies. They're real roomy. Most of you have felt soles. We'll have a kind of a welcome mat outside. So if you can take those boots off outside before you go in the tent, you can keep a much drier environment inside. Some of the places, it's kind of warm right now, and there hasn't been a bunch of a bug hatch going on right now, but some of the places, just for a good comfortable tent platform, we'll have to put them back in the brush a little more, so it's important to keep those zippers closed. The zippers do wear out, and we have complete repair zipper heads that we can pop right on there. So if the zipper's separating or whatnot, just let one of us know and we can pop a new zipper head on for you. But when you get in and out of the tent, keep them closed. At nighttime, a good idea is what we always do is get in the tent before you lay down, just kind of hit the walls a little bit, and they'll get the bugs flying around. You can see them and kill them off before you go to bed. Try not to spray any of the insect repellent on the material itself, because it's pretty strong stuff, and it will, through time, kind of dissolve the nylon. Same thing with your hands, putting on the insect repellent. I like to put it on the back of my hands and then apply it, or on the brim of your hat, You know, it'll keep them out of your face. You don't want it on your palms, you know, especially when you're handling food, or, you know, I actually dissolve fine tippet on fly line. It's pretty strong stuff. It's that deep material. We set up a latrine each night at the camp. We dig a deep hole. We ask you not to throw dirt in on top of it, because what we do at the end is throw some diesel fuel on it and burn the paper down and then bury it. And that way, if the animals get in afterwards and dig it up, it won't leave a mess for the next camper. We really cherish ourselves on doing a no-trace camp. If we want to fire at night, we can make a fire, but we don't use a fire ring. We want to pick up all our garbage and cigarette butts and just try to leave it the way we saw it. What else about the camp, Leroy?
I think we got it pretty well covered.
Okay.
If during the day you get out and have to do your number out in the bushes, take a lighter with you and burn the paper. Because we don't even bury the paper at camp when we dig our latrine, because the fox and all the small rodents will get in there and dig it up and spread it all over, and it's kind of nice pulling the camp and not see a lot of that stuff laying around.
Okay, on handling the fish, you know, you want to get some pictures and whatnot of them, but we like to run a catch and release program here. We'll get plenty of kings for you to take home. You want to take some fish home with you at the end of the trip. But in handling the fish, you know, first thing, you don't want to drag them up on the gravel, because the gravel, they'll slap on the gravel and will beat their insides up, and it takes this exterior slime off the sides of them, which will damage them. If you are going to handle them for a photo, get the fish in, get ready, get the person with the camera ready to film, and then lightly scoop them underneath. You don't want to put your hands near the gill line of the fish, because the hands get in there and damage the gills. You can start them bleeding. So keep the upper hand behind the gill line and back by the tail, and lift them gently out of the water, take the picture, and put them back. The river gets real fast down here with these big kings, and you've really got to tire some of them out to get them on up, and what we'll need to do then is give them a little CPR. Once we get the hook out, we'll get them in the water and work them back and forth, and, you know, some of them we have to work up to like 15 minutes, you know, because they really exhaust themselves before they let you bring them on, and it's really quite a feeling when those fish take off and they slap that water in your face. It's pretty exciting. And when you are picking them up, you don't want to squeeze them too much either, because you can damage their internal organs that way. And the reason I don't want you to lift them out of the water too long is because once they're removed from that water, then the gravity's pulling different on their organs and whatnot also. You don't have the spheric pressure of the water on them, so it displaces them a little bit. And when we start getting into a lot of kings, we may even want to go to some barbless tackle. As long as we're using a single hook, we can leave a barb on, just because these kings are such a battle. And the battle is so long, sometimes it'll wear a little spot, and the barbless hooks will come out pretty easy. On the trout and grayling, we'd like to use a barbless single hook on those. You know, the fish are abundant in spots, but it's really a much more fragile resource than we realize, because the fish grow so slow up here. You know, a grayling that's 12 inches is a 4 to 5 year old fish to get that big, because they go completely dormant in the wintertime, and their metabolism shut down, and they don't do any growing. So the growing is all done during the summer months when they're feeding. So it takes a fish twice as long up here in Alaska, a native fish, to get to the size that they do, say, in the lower 48. But, you know, we'll work with you on those as we start bringing the slabs on board. Like I say, today we should start seeing maybe some around camp tonight. If not, we'll start getting into them heavy tomorrow. We'll try to travel about 8 to 9 miles today through this upper area, and there's some good grayling, good trout fishing that we'll take what the river gives us as we go on down.
You see it, Jim?
Okay, raise up, reel down. Just gotta keep lifting his head. See if we can work him off into the slower water here.
Boy, he's really big.
Yeah. A little bit.
Keep that line tight at all times, never any slack. Got a lot of room to fight. Oh, look at that ugly stick pan! Reel in and walk slow. Try and just take line in, take line out. Yeah, walk